I'm Anil Kumar. In this series, I've taken a few examples to relate sine and cosine functions. The question here is how to write sine equation as a cosine function. We have three examples. The first one is sine theta is equals to cos of what? So we'll be working in degrees in this particular case. Sine 2 theta in degrees is equals to cos of what in degrees, and sine 2 theta plus 30 degrees is equals to cos of what in degrees. So let's figure out a general formula first, and then we'll write down all the answers. So let us say we have a sine function here. So let me sketch one sine function for you. Sine function starts with 0, then it goes to 1, 0, minus 1, 0. So that is the sine function. So that is sine theta. So when we say this is sine theta, we're trying to say that the time period here is 360 degrees, right? So they have 360 degrees as the time period. So it is from 0 to 360 degrees that one cycle is completed. Now 1/4 of the cycle is of prime importance. So 1/4 is half is 180, 1/4 is 90 degrees. So that is 1/4 of the cycle. Now if I want to write this sine function as a cosine function, how can I do so? Well, as you can see, the cosine function starts with 1. So that is the starting point for cosine function. As you can clearly see, the cosine function could be written as a sine function with a phase shift of 90 degrees. So it has moved 90 degrees to the right. So that becomes the starting point for a cosine function, right? So you could write this as cos of theta minus 90 degrees, right? So since we have moved this 90 degrees to the right to get the cosine function. So that's the whole idea. So in general, the formula for converting sine theta to cos of theta is sine theta equals to cos of theta minus 90 degrees. As you can see, 90 degrees is 1/4 of a cycle, right? So basically, you can write that sine function, let's summarize here. Sine equation is cosine function translated, we can say 1/4 of the cycle. 90 degrees is 1/4 of the cycle. Translated t by 4 units right. So in general, we could write this particular statement to describe how a sine function can be written as cosine function. Is that okay? Now let's follow these rules and write down the answers for the others. Sine 2 theta. So let's find out time period in this particular case. When it is sine 2 theta, that means there are two waves in 360 degrees. So the time period here is 360 degrees divided by 2, which is 180 degrees. And what is 1/4 of this time period? 1/4 of this time period is 180 degrees divided by 4. And that gives you 45 degrees. So you can write this function as sine 2 theta equals to cos of 2 times theta minus 1/4 of the cycle, which is 45 degrees. Is that okay? So minus 45. So that becomes the cosine function for sine 2 theta. I hope the steps are absolutely clear. You can follow the same method and do the last one. This is kind of tricky. What we should do here is sine 2 theta plus 30 degrees could be written as sine. We should factor out this 2, right? 2. And then what we get here is theta plus 30 divided by 2 as 15 degrees, correct? So that's what we get. Now we know for sine 2 of the angle means that the time period is 360 degrees divided by this k value, which is 2. As in the previous case, 180 degrees, and 1/4 of this cycle will be equals to 180 degrees divided by 4 as we did last time, which is 45 degrees, correct? Which is 45 degrees. So you could write this as cos of 2 that we take common, theta plus 15 degrees, and then we have to take away the phase shift of quarter cycle, which is minus 45, right? So which could be written as cos of 2. Now theta plus 15 minus 45 gives you minus 30. So it is theta minus 30 degrees. So that is how you could write the answer for part C. I hope the steps are absolutely clear. So basically what we are doing here is we are taking away quarter of the cycle. So find the time period and then find the quarter of the cycle. Then you get the phase shift required to write any sine equation as a cosine function. I hope these steps are absolutely clear. We'll take up one more video for you to practice. And then we'll also see how to write cosine equation as a sine function. I'm Anil Kumar and I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.